Hey guys, this is an opportunity for you to know how David's management team works. Everybody on that team is very important. Don't allow cho people mislead you. Everybody, Ubi is going to explain in a discussion with another ally of Davido.
Hi everyone.
So watch the video and learn from his management team.
Hi everyone. All right, so happy New Year to everyone. I felt like I should do my first live of the year, and if you have your friends, your family, wherever they are, can you add them to this live? This live is gonna help a lot of you, and there's a lot that a few things I want to clear and a few things I want to speak about. So if you have your friends, if you have your friends, your brothers and sisters, share the life with them. Something is very important. So I just got of a meeting with somebody, some of my guys, and we're talking about a few things that I felt like gave me an opportunity on what I want to share here. All right, so straight to the point. I was just thinking about it today, and I was like, in 2026, I'll be 40 years old. Looking at it, I journeyed into the Nigerian entertainment industry from the side of the music, being a PA to my brother who then owned a reality TV show. From there, I journeyed to becoming PA to Julius Agu, the comedian. From there, I journeyed to managing artists, managing artists here and there before I met Nyaya, right? I don't know if you know Ajabota 22. They were a group called the Shoyinkas Afro. Then I'd worked briefly with Ikechuku. I did some freelance stuff with Two-Face. I'd worked around before I met Nyaya. Now, I'll tell you something that in my years in the industry, something that I've learned in my years in the industry. Number one is, any manager you see that everyone loves never succeeds, never crosses the bar to the next level. Because you see, as managers, our job is not to be the good guy. Our job, the dirty job, meaning we wake up every day making sure that our artists do well, and we wake up every day making sure that we create an environment for everyone, to thrive. We are the peacemakers, and sometimes we're the troublemakers. But you see, something is very important. I'll tell you something for everyone who is listening to me. Someone said something today, said, you need to be alive to experience life, right? I don't know if that's the right thing he said. The reason for staying alive, you learn a lot, is it gives you an opportunity to know things. So he came to me because there was something that we're trying to discuss, something we're trying to settle that had happened in the past. But you see, today got me to understand something, that people's perception of you and what you are and where you are and what you are doing is not as important as your journey where you are going to. People might have several perceptions about you, about how you've handled things. And I'll say this, in our music industry, the craziest thing that I've ever had to kind of not understand, right? The craziest thing that I've got to I don't know how to fathom it properly, is the fact that as young people, we started this game with nothing, we started this game with nothing. We started with zero experience. We're nothing, basically, in the game. We just woke up every day and learned on the job. Everything can you guys hear me? Can everyone hear me? Okay, so they can hear me. Yeah, so we did everything on this job with the hustle. It's not like we woke up and someone taught us how to do the job. And I said something to the guy today. I said, listen, there are 4 people in this music industry today. Maybe some other people will come in the future. But right now, there are 4 people that I'll bite your ear and I'll go all out if you come for them. Or if you come for my business with them. That's number 1. DAVIDO, Kiss Daniel, Inyanya, and Techno. And when I said this, and everyone was like, oh, why? Because coming after what I have with them is like coming after my money, because yearly, that's my business. That's the bread that we all break bread as much as possible. So what's my job? My job is to protect them, to be on form, because the more they are on form, we are all making bread. As important as that. So don't come for them. Stay on your own. Do your own thing. And I'll tell you that in business generally, people fail. You understand? I can say this to you today, that I've tried multiple businesses. The ones that have succeeded and the ones that have failed. But the unfortunate thing for us as people is we wake up every day feeling like, oh, we're going to call this guy on social media. Boom, and then nobody will ask any question. Oh, yes, that's it. But I'll tell you that I've never in my life woken up and decided to be bad to anybody. If you are good to me, I'll be good to you. If you are bad to me, I'll be bad to you. But what is very, very important in our entire life and our entire situation is the consistency of what you can do, right? To the consistency of what you can do to get to the next level. I posted something on my Instagram a few days ago, and I said, in my entire life, in my entire career in the music industry, my life and my existence has touched more than 100 number 1 songs. And somebody sent me a DM and said, how is it 100? And I'm going to do a vlog for that. You know, I've aired out a lot of songs that a lot of you don't know that I was behind. In 2024, I started the year with 12 Remix. I went to, 2024, I did 12 Remix, Ogechi Remix, which one? Which other song? I Won't Care. Do you understand? So that's in just 1 year. So just imagine the years I've been in the game. I've touched 100 number 1 songs, from Techno to Kiss Daniel to DAVIDO to Inyanya and many other guys. And I'll tell you guys a story. And if this story I'm about to tell you, if you doubt it, I'll show you a link of when the artist has said it himself. You know the song, Problem, you know the finish. Make you try to enjoy. See that song? Every time I think about how the remix of that song was done, I always just laugh, because I believe that what will be, will be. One day, I went to Kiss Daniel's studio and we were just vibing. So I was playing him songs. And he asked me, who is this guy? Who produced this song? So I told him, oh, it's one guy called Wonder Banton. He was like, oh, really? I said, he has a song now called No Wahala. He said, play me the song. I said, I played him the song. He was like, oh, this is a nice song. I've heard the song before. I said, okay. So as we're vibing in the studio, so I now said, hey, Kiss, do you think that it's possible for you to do a remix of this song? Now, guess what? This is me being spontaneous and also trying to use... See, I've always said things on my Instagram about access. Make sure you use your access to build the right relationship, to do the right things. So I now asked Kiss, I said, hey, Kiss, do you think it's possible for you to do a remix of this song? He was like, he's not really interested, but he doesn't let him listen to the song again. So we played the song. He was like, oh, who is the guy? Call him to come. So I picked up the phone. I called Wonder Banton. And I said, hey, Wonder Banton, how are you? He said, bye-bye, dear. So I said, I want to get Kiss Daniel on the remix of No Wahala. And I want you to come to the studio. We're in the studio. Guess what this guy told me? He said, Baba, I beg, I don't want to do remix for my song. I said, huh? I said, okay, cool, no problem. I was just trying to be that guy that will help you do what you can do. So I dropped the call. Then the guy started calling my bro. So I think he tried to reach me and my phone was not going through. He started calling my cousin who was with me at in the studio. So when he was calling my cousin, he now told my cousin that, wait, Baba just called me now. I bet who be the artist when he talk say, won't do remix of my song? He said, Kiss Daniel na. He said, Kiss, I said, I bet where on that day? Now, apparently, when I called this guy, he was playing FIFA with Dandizi. He was in Dandizi's house playing FIFA. So when I was talking to him, he didn't understand yeah, what I was saying. So I don't know who he thought, was I don't know who he thought was the person I said wanted to do a remix of his song. So he now told my cousin that my cousin should please send him the address of Kiss Daniel's studio. So he now sent him the address and he came there. Immediately, I think I was in the studio and a lot of other guys. I have a video of that day. So we had the studio, Kiss Daniel now, one take, he recorded the song. So Kiss Daniel gave him the song. No, Kiss Daniel told him that he should go, that he needs time to balance the song before he will give him the song. So one day, Kiss Daniel now called me and said, I want to put another artist on this song. That's how Tiwa Savage came on the song. And it was now No Wahala Remix featuring No Wahala Remix, Wonder Banton featuring Kiss Daniel and Tiwa Savage. Now, the reason why I'm saying this thing to you guys is you need to understand that using your access, right, as a blessing to others. This guy did not pay me a dime. Till today, he has never come to me and say, oh, Baba, thank you. But for him to have gone to an interview and mentioned it, how the process was, that's okay for me. I don't need him to give me anything. But you see, it's always good to give people their flowers when they do things. Normally, that kind of process, I would have said, you know what, I'll put in my own, I'll put in my name and put in a lot of things to make sure that I own a part of that song. But I didn't do it. Because for me, I'll tell you, the backstory is, I was just trying to support a guy who has supported Inyanya. Do you understand? I met him through Inyanya, and Inyanya told me that, this guy has been very supportive. And this guy produced songs for Inyanya without asking Inyanya for a dime. So, if I had an opportunity to advance the guy's career, I would do it. So that's what I did. Easy. So, for me, the most important thing is, make sure you use your access. Make sure you use where you are, what you are doing. Make sure you use it to help other people when you can. In that process, sometimes some people will not appreciate it. Those that will appreciate it will call you and appreciate it and appreciate you. And those that know you will know you. And I feel like as people, it's very important for you to know that in 2025, make sure you don't leave any money on the table. I have someone that is a big man. He did me dirty last year. But guess what? I still don't have anything against him. We'll keep moving because the most important thing for you to do in life is to be alive, to see another day. Because seeing another day, many opportunities are going to align. Now, I tell you this, some of you work with big artists or big men, and you say, this man know they give. But guess what? The most important thing is, my brother Shobzi do. The most important thing is, some people are in other people's lives. For me, Shobzi do.
The real plug.
Shobzi do.
A lot of people don't, it took a long time, even for people like myself, to understand people's positions in the business.
Yeah.
3 days ago, I was just thinking about you. I now remember that I met you with Inyanya during the Kukere times.
Yeah.
And that time, you were maybe 22 years old, bro.
I was 22, yeah.
You were 22 years old with arguably two of the biggest artists in Afrobeats. Inyanya with Kukere, techno, with all those stuff, and then you had Sele Bobo as a producer.
Yeah.
So when I was thinking about you, I was like, here's a 22-year-old guy who created a record label, had no experience on how to run one. Out of that, was able to discover two of the most iconic Afrobeat musicians who had the biggest records at the time.
Yeah.
Including some of the hottest producers.
D-Tunes, DJ Kubla, Sele Bobo, the biggest.
At that time. A lot of people over the last 10 years who have been in the position that you've been in have vanished.
Yeah.
For a variety of reasons.
Yep.
One, they've misused their finances and their results. Two, they've abused their relationships and really falling out of love and luck with a lot of people. But you continue to be in position not only to replenish new relationships, to assist new entertainers, and to still be shoulder to shoulder with some of the biggest artists that are existing today, from DAVIDO to Kiss Daniel, Inyanya, the list goes on.
Yeah.
So my brother,
You
whether
know,
they give you or they
Chomsy,
don't give you, you're
you know,
supposed to
Chomsy,
take small flowers.
something just hit me a few days this morning. I was talking to an artist. So there was a song that was meant to be on Davido's Timeless album.
Yes.
So when we reached out to the guy who owned the part of the song, you know, like David's guy produced the song and everything, and the song was not. So David heard the song and he liked the song, and we had recorded the song, and then the guy said he was not going to release the song, and we let the song go, right? Now, what made me come up today to do this Instagram live was I saw the guy today, this morning, and before he met me, he was around one of my guys, and my guys already told him that, bro, what you think about Ubi is actually not true, because the guy feels like I was the one who stopped him, yeah, from getting the break for what he wanted. Now, I wasn't. So he understood today that it was the guy who he put in the position to help him. Now, look at it this way. I told the guy, I said, listen, the idea of this song is being loved by my guy. My job is, I spoke to his record label boss, I spoke to his manager, and I said, this record would be nice for us if we put it on this project now. The guy said, his record label boss and his manager at the time, they said no. Now the artist was being fed with stories that what I wanted for the guy to do was not attainable. But this is what I told them then, and I told the guy today. I said, listen, if you do this thing, there are many things. The ripple effect of what is going to happen from this thing I want you to do now will be different. And the guy said no. Okay, not the guy directly, his people.
Yeah.
They said no. And I let them go. Guess what? We replaced that song with Can't tell you give it pressure. Move your ways. Do you understand? So that means when one thing falls, right? Another one, right, will always come. So
Someone else will do this.
if that song was allowed to come on the project, if everything was done that it was meant to do, Kante wouldn't be where it is today. And Faith wouldn't have the next level notch, right, for herself. Now, what is important is, I tell people this thing, Shopsy. When people say, oh, Davido, what the space Davido sits in this industry is God that will create another person that will sit in that same space like him. Because I see things. Sometimes when I see things, I became calmer and more aware of my environment when I see a lot of things that happen around that very good guy.
Behind the scenes.
The things that happen behind the scene, sometimes I always ask myself, I always tell him sometimes, I say, you are not real. I always say to him, I say, you are not real, because sometimes the way he carries other people's problems, the way he carries other people to make, if you come around David and you would be like, anybody can yap David and say, oh, the people around you, they are not. Listen, the people around David are people that David believes that if you're around him, use this access to get to where you're going to.
In 2016.
Look at Dami Twitch. Look at Dami Twitch, for example.
In 2016, I think we toured, or I think it was 2017 or something.
Yeah.
We toured with David in the UK.
Yeah.
And then he had a Dublin show. So that Dublin show, a lot of the people in the team couldn't go because you needed a different visa for that.
Yeah.
So it was him, Tycoon, Lati, and one other person. And then I had to go with them and Don Bazzi, to represent Smade. So we flew together and went from Leicester. We had finished from Leicester and then went straight to Dublin.
Yeah.
That was the day that I understood exactly what the likes of Tycoon and Co do. Because at that time, Tycoon was... Who's that?
Tycoon.
You see? So, you see, as you hear his name, that was the day... that was the day
it's good. As Cool just heard his name. Why are you calling me Cool?
He had his name in the spirit. He had his name in the spirit.
You're on Instagram live, bro.
Let me share this story first.
Happy to hear my bro. I know why Tycoon is calling me, don't worry. Cool, I'll call you back now. I'll call you right back now.
So, when we got to Dublin, that was when I understood what roles everybody plays. Instantly, because the road manager was not there, Tycoon slid into the road manager level. Lati slid into another level. Now, as we're leaving the stage or we're leaving the airport, that this guy, 88, the videographer guy, once he finishes recording, whether it's like all night, that David is going to the hotel to sleep. Tycoon sits in the car with 88 and they start editing and creating. Tycoon gave me an app in that 2017 that I still use today. I pay for that app every year. That's the app that you can create logos with. It's the app that you can edit with. And that's when I knew that, this guy is a stylist, a creative director. He's a...
So that's what people don't know about Tycoon, right?
But you wouldn't know until... So when you see people around David sometimes, you never know what they're doing because you just see a group of guys until you're lucky enough to maybe see behind the scenes. And again, that's what a lot of people in the public don't get to see. You don't get to see the behind the scenes, what roles everybody plays. So that you can thoroughly appreciate the input of everybody. What you just see is pictures of people drinking and chilling. That's it.
So you know what's so funny is Tycoon is so important to today's game, not just to David, but to every young person. Until you go closer to David, you will not understand the power or the genius nature of Tycoon. People don't know that every time you see David, you see his stage, even at the hotel. So I'll look for that video. There's a video I did of Tycoon at David's show on the 24th in Lagos. He was backstage. His Tycoon controls all the lights. He tells you what to do. He knows the stage, everything. So for people who don't know, they don't understand that's Tycoon's job. They feel like Tycoon is just another guy because he doesn't make noise. He's just another guy.
He's a creative director. He's a stylist.
Have you seen David's album art? That's Tycoon. David's album art in his last maybe 3 albums is Tycoon. Or last 4 albums is Tycoon. So look at the job he does. Like, so when I got to Tycoon's house one day. By the way, Tycoon's chef is the best chef. You understand? Aside Chef Chi, Tycoon's chef for us as boys. Yeah, we always go to Tycoon's house to eat. And if you go to Tycoon's house, you see the creative guy. You just see things around that you know that this guy is ready for work. And you see, the thing is, that's why, and David understands this thing that he knows where everybody, you understand, he knows where everybody is pinned up in his career. And he understands that. Let me tell you something that happened last year. So when David was submitting his album, he called me. He said, Ubi, I want to appreciate you for all the work you did on this album. Bro, listen, I was not expecting that call, right? He said, I want to appreciate you for all the work you did on this album and also on Timeless album. And he said, I've directed the lawyers and everyone to make sure that your due credit is given to you on this album. Now, listen to this, right? Whatever I'm doing for David, Ianya, Techno, Kiss Daniel, I'm not doing it because of the money that we all make together. I'm doing it because these are people that I genuinely love. Because these are people that we've gone through different levels of situations together and we are still standing. Do you understand? Me and my brother Kizana, we fight every other day. We fought yesterday.
Like brothers.
You understand?
Like brothers.
Now, our fight yesterday was just argument about something. But guess what? This morning, we are back to the business. We've spoken this morning 3 times. Oh, let's do this. We are back to the business. If I have an argument with David, the next day, we are back to the business. If I have an argument with Ianya, the next day, we are back in it because our relationship has gone beyond just people no, it's not. It's not that. Our relationship is now, this is my brother. How do I support him? How do I get him to the next level? If I do something that is wrong, David calls me and says, bro, this thing is not right. I beg, let's change it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And for me, it's important for you to have brothers who tell you when you're wrong about something and they're trying to help you also grow, right? But for us to get to the next level of where we need to be, we need to understand that, I don't know if you know this Africanness in us, where sometimes we say, oh, I get this uncle, when do they help me?
Yes, all of us.
So I tell people this,
all of us get.
Never be around David and you don't have see, David is a value guy. David has value.
What's the value you're bringing to the table?
The value you're bringing. So I'm going to say this. See Dami Twitch. Dami Twitch right now is Africa's #1 video director. You saw him with Rihanna recently. You saw all the things he's doing and everything. Dami Twitch, I have those pictures. Dami Twitch used to follow us around with a phone.
He was taking
to take pictures with his phone and edit it on his phone and give it to us to post.
Yes.
Back then. He grew from there to following David to this BMW video he shot. From that video, everything changed. I know what he kept putting in work. As in, Dami Twitch will see a job like this. He will tell you, I can't do this. I've passed that level. And how did he get today? It was because he was consistent. He understood that David has the access,
So
right? How do I
let me
sit down on this?
let
Everything
me
is
give
about
you
lecture.
let me give you something that nobody. So I was just in Kenya, right?
Yeah.
And I interviewed the Roman chef.
Okay, yeah.
So that interview is coming out very soon.
Really, that guy.
Crazy.
So we met with him like last year.
Guess what? That guy said that he had been speaking to David in DM for over 3 years.
Wow.
That David told him 3 years ago that it was his wife, Chioma,
Yeah.
that introduced David to his videos.
Yes.
And
Yeah, that's true.
David has been following him for 3 years. They've been
Yeah.
speaking every time. And then there was like a whole year where they never spoke. And one day, David just hit him up and said, listen, man, I'm coming to Kenya for less than 24 hours. Let's
I was
link
there.
up. This guy said to me in the interview, you know, all this year now we've been seeing him with all sorts of celebrities,
Yeah.
bringing guests. Guess who was the first celebrity to go on that show?
David.
He said because of David coming on his show and eating with him,
Yeah.
it created a path that he had always wanted to do for the last 3 years, bringing celebrities on. And because David came on his show, that's why now he's been bringing everybody, even including his own brother, Bien, the biggest artist in Kenya, one of the biggest artists in Africa. Everybody, he now started to bring everybody on his show.
Let me tell you the story of how we got to that guy's house.
That's crazy.
So we landed what's it called, Kenya, for a show for Raha Fest.
Yeah.
Right. So it was the Raha. So David went to Uganda first.
Yes.
And then we all met in Kenya. So immediately David got into the hotel. He told us, he said, listen, if he doesn't go somewhere, he wants to go. I'm like, where are you going? He said, let's go. Everybody get into the car. Listen, we got into the car and went straight to that guy's house.
He said so.
We got there. I think the guy was downstairs waiting for us.
Came. He
came to the hotel. I didn't even know who the guy was.
Yeah.
So he came to the hotel and I was like, who is this guy? David is going to see that. Anyway, we all got to. So when I asked David, who is this guy? David opened his TikTok and this is the guy. So David was now trying to sell the guy to us. So then we got into the car and went to the guy's house. It was David, Iyaya, this guy from what's it called? From Tanzania. Rayvani, and then all of us, David's sisters, everyone. We got there. Listen, this guy, there's something I noticed about him, right? He's very particular about everything.
Yeah.
The way he sets his camera, when he's cutting his thing, everything he's doing, everything is proper. So that's why I then understood that this guy had prepared for this day.
It was crazy.
He does all of this thing in his. People don't know that that's his balcony for his house.
His balcony.
We chilled with him and we ate everything and we left. I was like, this is so beautiful.
If you hear what he was saying, what he said about this day, what he said about the importance of David coming to his house, what he said about how that thing has changed, when the interview comes out, you will be stunned.
Yeah, so bro, that's the impact. That's the impact of David, man. I can tell you that. I can tell you this, right? So there was a day. This thing happens to me a lot. I'll be traveling at the airport. I'll see some women who meet me. I say, "Oh my God, thank you so much for being Chauma's manager. Thank you so much for being Chauma's brother." Bro, listen, people dash me money on the road. I'm serious. Like, so, bro, listen to this. So I went to Abuja one day on my way back. So I was at the airport. I just checked in. So one guy came to me and I said, "That woman there wants. She's calling you." I was really irritated because what I went to Abuja for, I didn't really, so I was really irritated. So I now sluggishly walked to the woman. She now said to me, "My name is Madam so." I said, "Oh, good day, ma." She said, "Fine." She said, "How is Choma?" I said, "Choma is fine." She now said, "I see you." And you know what? People think that all these are older people don't watch social media. They do. Yeah. So she now said, "Oh my God, I love Choma so much. Where are you going to say?" "I'm going to Lagos." He said, "You know what?" She now called her PA. She removed, the bundle of 1,000 naira. Yeah. She removed 2 bundles. Just gave, the stack is 500K, 500K. Yeah. She now removed 2 and gave to me. I said, "Use this and buy your children bread when you land Lagos." Now, and this thing has happened like maybe 3 or 4 times. And you see, the thing is this, right? You might look at yourself and understand that people don't see what you're doing, right? The power of association, like somebody has just said now, is very important. Now, that's why I feel like I've learned a lot of things in life that my situation with people. You know, you and I, Shopsy, we talk a lot about the industry, about things that how we can, advance ourselves. And you know why I can relate with you is because we met ourselves when we were both struggling to figure out what we are doing today.
Facts.
I told somebody something. I said, the first time I ever got to London, my first trip to London was Africa Unplugged. You remember? When we came to Embassy 78, yeah, I was booked for we came to your office, you interviewed us and everything. So I now told people, I said, see, there are people who have been doing interviewing and everything when Afrobeat started back in the day. I said, I can tell you that the only person still doing it with so much energy as if he just got into the industry is Shopsy. And the truth is because you've understood how to use the people you know, everyone around you. Bro, they kind of help people. If they pay you for it, I'm sure, bro, I'm sure you even get lazy and not want to do the work anymore. You understand? But you see, I'll tell you today that we appreciate you and we see what you're doing and we see what you're doing for a lot of young artists. Guys, listen, I'm going to expose Shopsy right now.
People don't. A lot of people don't know.
Do will call me and say, Ubi, that thing you posted, send it to me. And the support you've given to my own guys, right? Everyone, I can tell you that I don't know if you give me an invoice if I'll be able to pay. But one thing is important is the consistency of what you're doing and how we keep supporting ourselves.
We move together.
You understand? It's very important. So for me, I just wanted anybody watching this Instagram live to understand that, listen, as an artist, you need to understand that your manager is as important as you are important in the business.
Let me give you a short story that happened to me 2 days ago.
Okay.
So I woke up in the morning, bang! And I got a video of Ruga in Bielsa. Ruga in Bielsa. I just posted it. Ruga, fire. I got another video of Rude Boy in Bielsa. Rude Boy in Bielsa. Bah! I just posted, amazing. This one, all of a sudden, I was just chilling. My phone just rang. Bang! I looked at my phone. Legend Timaya. Bah! As I open up, Timaya, Baba, what's up? Timaya, say, waiting. You didn't know that Bielsa show was my own show? Brother, I didn't know. I said, I don't know, nobody tell me. Said that was my show. I spent millions of dollars to put it together. I said, what?
I know, Timaya does things if he's going to do everything, it's always going to be tough.
I said, really? I said, first of all, number one, I need to know who your assistant is and who the manager is, because that information should have reached all of us weeks before. And as you are doing this thing, they should have been letting everybody know that this is what the great Timaya has done. I said straight away. I said instantly Timaya can't begin laugh. I said I want to know who the man, because me I want to fight with that manager now. Because that should have been the first thing. That whether it's Tunde Ednot, whether it's Shopsy Do, whether it's not just okay, they should have been on the call immediately. That look at what Timaya is doing in Bielsa. For his people. Millions of dollars.
This is the third year. This is the third year. Last year was the third year in a row.
Yes. And these are the little things that you and I speak about. Where I have now had to tell Timaya. Timaya was now the ones that sent me videos himself. For me to now tell the world that I just got a call that this is what King Timaya is doing in Bielsa. There should have been somebody in that team who should have sat down. That's his own job for the last 1 week. That's almost.
Shopsy, let me tell you the problem I feel. Let me tell you the problem I see with a lot of managers. And I'll say this today. I know people always say, Ubi, why they do this? Listen, my job is my job. No matter the billions I will make or I have made or I will have, if I'm on the road with any of my artists,
you need to showcase it to the world.
I'll showcase it to the world. I'll activate my role as a manager. I must do videos. I must update the community to let them know that something is happening here. So people think that you should be. See, you cannot put me in that cage of one of those people who are just
celebrity manager.
No, listen.
How
did I get here?
How
did I get here? I got here by these things I was doing. That's how I got popular to get here today. So if you cannot support who you are working with, and bro, you remember when I and David did our marathon of Lagos, London, Abuja? You know what? David didn't even know what I was doing, but I was like, this is a lot, right?
And the world had to see.
The world had to see how hardworking in 72 hours we did in 72,
Atlanta,
right?
to Lagos, Atlanta to London,
Lagos.
No, Atlanta to London, London to Abuja,
No,
Abuja to Lagos,
no.
Lagos to Abuja,
It was first
Abuja.
Atlanta. Don't
Yeah.
forget, it was first on this Atlanta to Lagos.
To Lagos.
Lagos,
Yeah.
back to Atlanta on the 8th.
And then back to London.
Back to London,
Then to
London
Abuja.
to Abuja, Abuja to
Lagos.
Lagos, Lagos back to
Abuja, Abuja, back to Paris.
No, Abuja back to London, London to Paris, Paris back to Atlanta. Do you understand? It was the craziest thing that I feel. Do you know what? Once we landed Atlanta, the next day, I just put up my phone and I slept because, bro, it felt like my body was failing me because. So now, and the next day, I now asked David. I said, so I now called. I went to David's house in Atlanta and I said, David, hold on, what's going on? How does your body function? He started laughing because David calls me. David knows that after every show, right? I had to go to the club, like all this after party. David will say, yeah, more than what, they run. Because the truth is, I cannot keep up with, bro, I have to sleep.
Those
Do you
guys,
understand? So with me, with all of this, I'll try to do 1+1. Once the show is done, all those after party and everything, you know, I won't go sleep anyway. But the most important thing is, it's important to see that David is such a hard worker. You know, he doesn't even sleep. You understand? And sometimes
to be in those positions that these guys are in, a lot of people on social media like to talk, and that's why we disregard a lot of people. But for any one of those guys to still be top of the food chain after 10 years in this game, productivity with content, performing, brand power, influence, you have to know that their level of working and staying consistent is not just by luck.
Nope.
This one. Yeah.
So in the last 2 days, this is what people in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
So there's some young guys. I'm not going to mention their name for now. There's some young guys, very talented, that reached out to me that they wanted to work with Kiss Daniel. So as my brother, I called him. I said, Kiss, so people, this guy wants to work with you. He was like, oh, they sent me a DM. Oh, I love them so much. I love their music. Da. He said, what do you think? I said, you tell me. Kiss said, okay, get a place. Let us all meet. I booked an apartment. I brought all of them to that apartment. They came there. It was a beautiful scene, my brother. It was a beautiful, beautiful scene. And I tell you that those guys have been there since that day. They've been working. They worked yesterday. They will work today. And possibly will continue working. Now, what am I saying is this. People don't see this energy that is being put in to help these young guys. And I tell people, don't say, oh, this artist, no one help me. No. Do something to a certain level. Let the artist see what you have done. Because you see, this thing is give and take. Do you understand? You don't expect somebody to just come. That's why somebody says, oh, I want you to help this artist. I said, send me the artist's Instagram. If I go on your Instagram, you've not even done a job to move yourself to the next level. What do you want me to do for you?
Some people haven't even posted more than 5 posts.
Do you understand?
And they won't help.
Exactly. So I'll say, listen, like even when people reach out to me, I say, help me post my business. And I go on their Instagram.
They haven't
and
posted.
Say, wait, you've not posted even on your personal Instagram. You said because you don't want your Instagram to be dirty.
To be dirty.
2025.
Dirty
all my artists. I will go on my Instagram and see. I will blast everything there. Because the truth is, if from my page, something can be moved to the next level. And from my page, somebody will know. Let me tell you what happened on the 31st of October. So no, on the 26th or 27th of October. So I was in David's house. So I was like, so we're talking about his trip to Ghana. So we're going to Ghana. And I said, I'll come with you. But on that 31st, yeah, is Nyaya's birthday. It was like, what is Nyaya doing? And I said, nothing for now. We don't have anything planned. He said, okay, cool. He now he now said, call Nyaya. So I called Nyaya. He now said, yeah, I say your birthday they come. Oh yeah, I go send you a jet. Mona come Ghana. Just like that. Bro, trust me, just like that. So also me, I got on the phone with Spyro, and we're just in the morning we're going to go to Ghana. And I said, hey, Spyro, how you doing? We're just gisting about something else. And I said, I'm going to Ghana. You know, tomorrow is Nyaya's birthday. I said, today is Nyaya's birthday. We're all going to Ghana. David sent us a jet to come to Ghana. He was like, oh, really? So I'm like, if you're free, you can come with us. He said, oh, yeah, he's free. He's not doing anything. And so I just rescheduled the flight by an hour so that he can, you know, get himself ready. We got to the airport. We flew to Ghana. Once we got there, we went straight to David's hotel. And because we were staying like an apartment. So we went straight to David's hotel. And immediately David saw, yeah, I posted that video. I'm sure you saw
when
that.
he was singing, he was singing happy birthday to
So
him.
David doesn't call Inya, he calls him Desire. Because of that's how much of the relationship they've had. And people don't know this, that Ian and David were neighbors. You know, David had a pool in his house, but he always preferred to come to our own pool with B Red and B Red and his brothers.
No.
And they always come to our house, we chill. And from those days, David has supported all my artists from that time. Do you know David has a song with Emanara? David has a song with Celebobo back then. But people don't understand that David never had a song with Inyanya that time until 2022. Because it's important to know that relationships that are succeeding today are not relationships that were built yesterday. So that were built, just as the relationships have been built for a long time. So that's why my relationship with David is not something about somebody I met 2 days ago. Do you understand? This is like 2009. Do you understand? We've been building this income. So it's important to understand where you stand in people's lives.
No,
you understand?
relationship is key.
Yeah, those relationships are very key. That's why I say, listen, I will do anything for any of these guys because something. This is what a lot of people on social media don't know. The artists put you in a position where if you have value that they need, they'll keep you.
Facts. 100%.
If you don't have value that they need, right? You'll be on the
yourself,
side.
you fall off.
You fall off.
They don't have to change
You understand?
because you don't find a place to fit yourself in.
Very important.
Anymore.
And I keep saying this thing. I say it's important to know your place in people's lives.
Facts.
And it's important to know the value that you bring in. This is what I tell people. One day David said to me, he said, Israel, has something he does for me, which is make me laugh.
Happy.
He makes me happy. Yeah. And he said, you see that thing? A lot of people might underrate it, but that
when you go into the Bible, you see there. There are kings that favored people that brought joy to their heart.
Exactly.
Kings
so that is
that
who
will favor you only because you bring joy to his heart.
Exactly. So that is what from people from outside, right? They'll be like, hey, what is Israel? They do. Listen, trust me. Israel is that guy that he doesn't pretend. He doesn't pretend.
Authentic.
If he doesn't like you, he doesn't like you. If he likes you, he likes you. And he knows that this man has changed his life. Bro, I tell you that the places Israel will enter, some people who think that they are upright, they will not enter. Because Israel has built that relationship. Yeah? Bro, do you understand that Israel will be going about his business? Somebody will call him that I want to book DAVIDO. He will send the booking to the office. The office will process the booking, everything, and pay Israel his money.
Crazy.
So just imagine Israel does David maybe the millions of naira that, or in the thousands of dollars or millions of dollars that he makes per show. Just imagine that Israel brings 3 or 4 or 5 a year.
That's enough to be a superstar. That's footballer money.
Israel knows now that this is my position in this guy's life. Until today, Israel is so loyal to his Oga that there's nothing you can tell him.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing.
That's to show you that I'm sure Israel did not know that if it's consistent enough, right, with this his Oga, he didn't know that if he's consistent enough with this his Oga, he'll get something out of it. He didn't know that.
He was just loyal.
He was just loyal because this is a guy who has showed him love. This is a guy who has also replicated loyalty to him. And let me tell you something. Nobody should ever not get loyalty in return when they give. David's loyalty to his people, to his guys, to people that he knows are loyal to him is unmatched. Trust me. Even if you bring somebody who is your guy to David, and David sees that guy again tomorrow, the way David will receive that person,
like saying I'm your guy. Yeah.
That's it. And you know what? See, bro, I always say this, that some of us we didn't grow up in a poor family. I didn't grow up in a poor family, right? But David's
we didn't see
growing
the
up,
level of wealth that David grew up.
Do you understand? So when you see the level of wealth that someone like David grew up in, he's meant to be gatekeeping a lot of people. But David would never
supposed to be rude, spoiled, disrespectful, arrogant.
But he's not.
But he's the complete opposite of all of that.
Bro, we're traveling one day. It was not a jet trip, so we're traveling one day, and all of us had like bags that we're dragging. David saw one woman, an elderly woman. Do you understand? He was just going to pass, but he carried the woman's bag and helped the woman till the woman got to the lounge. The woman did not have. It wasn't like a business class ticket. It was like an economy ticket for the woman, right? David carried the woman and told the woman, they told the people at the lounge that if they won't let the woman enter, he would stand outside, let the woman use his pass to enter. He now let the woman. The woman sat down in the lounge until when it was time to board, David boarded with the woman and just made sure she sat properly and then went to his seat. This thing I'm telling you guys is not on camera. So there are a lot of things that David does that are not on camera. So nobody should ever come and tell me that, oh, they are doing it for the... I know when somebody is doing something for the... But there are many things David has done, right? That's not even for social media's sake. Do you understand? Bro, I wish that we spend a lot of time in Atlanta. If you see David in Atlanta, David looks like a very normal guy.
Normal, yeah.
Do you understand?
That's probably why he
so
likes
you
that
tell
place
you,
too.
I'm in my homeless mood. You just see him normal. So one day we went to the mall to buy something. We're just at the mall buying something. Somebody came and said, he said to me, "Is that Davido?" I said, no. He said, "Oh, that can't be Davido. He can't be dressing like that." Because guess what? David just was he had like shorts. He had like shorts, wore hoodie, just wore like just the slippers. It was just, do you understand? So I know what he wasn't wearing like all the wristwatches and chain and everything. No. So the guy said that can't be David. If that was David, but guess what? That was David. So when David now was calling, David was calling somebody, right? The guy that heard David's voice said, "No, that's David." He now came back. I was like, he didn't. So we need to understand that every celebrity has their own private life, has their own things that they live. You understand? They have the humanity in them. And I think that the fan bases across the industry, we need to understand that, the more you keep being toxic, you are denying a lot of other people an opportunity to break into the top. That's it. Because year in, year out, we are going to maintain the conversation of
this one, guys.
This three, that three, this three. Listen.
Facts.
But guess what?
Facts.
As much as sometimes it makes our industry look serious and tough, right? It's actually what I feel like the fan base need to understand, that we need to take it easy. Do you understand? We need to take it easy. We need to calm down and understand that we're building an industry that we want to outlive us.
Facts.
Some of us have been here. This is my like maybe 19 or 20th year in the music industry, right? I've been here. I've hustled this industry so well that I feel like I don't, I was telling someone this morning, I said, I don't have anything to prove to anybody. You don't like UBI? Cool. You don't like me? Cool, no problem. I said, but guess what? If I know that you get waiting me and you get where we say, you go carry light bulb for my house. Bro, we go align. But for now, as far as you don't get anything where they do for me, I don't get anything where they do for you. You not liking me, you don't get anything to do with me or my existence. Do you understand? So the most important thing is we need to understand. See, I know that people cannot like you 100%. And and that's okay. That's perfect. That's okay. You see, last year I faced one of the toughest year in terms of business. Lagos State broke my restaurant that I spent almost millions, right? They broke it down. I faced that heat. And I look back, I'm like, in December, I was like, shit, if this restaurant was available, this December, at least I would have done 300 million. Because of the niche market that I set up for the restaurant was what a lot of people were going into. You understand? See, I've been in this industry long enough to know that if they too love you, you know they do your work. Baba. Do you understand? If they too love you, you know they do your work. I saw also a video yesterday by a podcaster in America. He said the water in a well, the temperature of water in a well is 18 degrees Celsius. Regardless of what the temperature outside of that well is. So he said during winter, the well temperature of the water is 18 degrees. During summer, the well temperature is 18 degrees. So as a human being that wants to be successful in life, regardless of what the noise during winter or summer is, your temperature must remain the same to be successful. Trust me. And you know what defeats us a lot as people, and it has happened to me in the past is, I'll say this, and this is a revelation to a lot of people, and it's something that nobody should ever do to themselves. Shobzi, there was a time where I lost total confidence in my ability to be able to create. Everybody goes through that moment, man. I lost everything that would be that this guy is the creative. I lost it. I couldn't go for events because if I walk into an event place,
Everybody faces
I was feeling like
difficulties in
everybody was
life,
talking about me.
Was
but
talking about you. The
staying
fact that you
alive will
weren't
make
doing what
you
you're
overcome
supposed to do.
circumstances.
So
So many
I felt
friends
like
will
everybody
laugh
was
at
talking
you,
about me.
bash you,
And
say
God
unkind
came
things
through.
to
Let me
you,
tell you how God
but
came through.
never give up.
God gave
Just
me an
know that God will
opportunity to
fix
use
things
the
for you,
things
but
which
try to stay
people had
alive.
used to laugh at me
Davido's
to
crew is always packed
bring
full
back to
of
life,
people. All
to
those
turn
people you are
for the
seeing him
turnaround,
go around
right?
with, they
And
have
once
different
that
things
happened,
they are doing
it
for
was
his
the
crew.
next
There are some
level
of them
break
are for
for me
light,
to
some of
keep
them are
moving.
for
And you see,
transportation,
and I was
that's
saying that
logistics.
last year was a very
Wherever he's
difficult year for
going
me.
to, he goes with them because he cannot do everything himself. As much as you can, outsource everything you need to outsource. Outsource it, because when you are alive, you can make the money. When you are alive, you can enjoy the money you have made. Don't allow anybody tell you that you must do everything yourself so that you'll be seeing